The misfortune, of course, it is a power pick here. We've seen her banned away a few times. That Make It Rain being relatively strong, but we haven't seen all that much Thunder Lords. Look at the Frog as we hop onto the Howling Abyss. Misfortune just doesn't want to be on the fountain anymore. We want to start this one off as quickly as possible as Lex is making it up this glorious bridge to potentially her doom at the hands of a Frog.
Yeah, I think he's good. I mean, Lex is not up against Superman right here, so he should be able to at least take him in this 1v1.
How do you know?
I don't know. I'm making a prediction. I'm the analyst here.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You gotta take my word as gospel, mate.
Just not used to it.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, who's better at the emote spam, though? I mean, that's the real battle that's going on right now.
Misfortune's top tier.
She is. Well, her laugh is incredibly frustrating. I'll give you that one.
Did you know there are 5 champions in the game which you can actually repeat your emote? So you just spam constantly. Nasus is one of them. Heimerdinger, very annoying to play against.
See, this is what we've been missing with Pulse as the play-by-play. We don't get this gold in the analysis.
This is the analysis you're looking for, ladies and gentlemen. Lex has immediately gotten the control over the minions, though, which is to be expected because you're against Tahm Kench. You want 7 minions, that gets you level 2, but it doesn't matter when you're actually not really fighting over them. So Crystal needs to wait a bit until he actually gets a couple levels. What did he go for? He went for Tongue Lash first, so I would have preferred him to go to Bower here, Atlas, so he could actually push back. But he's having a pretty rough time, so he's going to have to CS on the tower.
Should be able to get there just fine. Double Up not going to find the Tahm Kench as he's just waddling around. And what is going to be the strategy here? Is like Crystal, is he forced to go for some sort of level 3 all-in, something like that? Does he want to hit a specific level? I could imagine Abyssal Voyage is going to do practically 0 on this map as far as getting him an upper hand in a 1v1 scenario.
Yep, that's pretty true, considering his passive was, of course, moved to his actual passive, his innate, so he doesn't need his ultimate. He doesn't get a power spike.
Yeah.
And also, he can't instantly interrupt the Misfortune ultimate unless he's in range and has the stack. So it doesn't seem like a particularly good matchup for Ultrog in the mid lane.
Maybe
Catfish,
Crystal
I should
knows,
say. Someone's going to yell at me.
Maybe he knows something that we don't about the
so that's what I'm
power of
thinking
the Frog.
I'm thinking that too, because we saw the Trundle yesterday, and unanimously all the analysts and pretty much everyone watching was like, this is awful. But then he was gifted 2 opportunities to win and didn't take them. So in this matchup, we might see Crystal.
I was about to remind you, like, he did just straight up lose
almost
that.
dumpstered him.
Oh, goodness.
But we'll have to see, because if I was the Tahm Kench, I would have maxed Devour and just tried to push out the wave. Now he's level 3. It reveals a little more about what he's thinking.
There's the lick, there's the snowball. Crystal's looking for the gobble and is going to find it. He'll throw all the emote spam as well, stunning the minions, doing some work. The exhaust goes down. He knows exactly what he's doing. Lex throws down the barrier, but is it going to be enough as this is a hungry Frog and he's going to take him down?
This one, if there's no minions in this way. So Edward has to be very smart about how he plays. Kind of similar to actually gone down the middle tree, because he has the biscuits here. So looking to just poke a little bit. I assume he's gotten some knowledge off of his ADC. That is a great skin.
Yeah, the Valkyrie coming out, sorry, the Gatling gun coming out first. Just wanting to clear the wave. Is that actually better wave clear than taking something like the Frostbite?
I mean, you'll hit like the entire wave unless you're trying to manipulate it. You can't really manipulate the first wave, but you could theoretically hit all of it. In terms of Shred as well, if he's trying to just trade blows with Naru, Naru can't really punish him for using the Valkyrie because he can stay behind his minions, he can just make it difficult. So it does kind of make sense. He's probably gone Frostbomb right now. He's not really in danger of getting all-in by Tahm Kench since he has the level advantage. So he'll go for that Valkyrie level 3 maybe, but learning from the mistakes of his ADC, then maybe he'll go for a more defensive option, but he's good. So this is turning out the same way as last game, where you get the shove off as the ADC, takes the tower shot, classic, and then Naru, he's just constantly looking for that snowball opportunity.
Actually hasn't picked up the Devour yet either, so got that grey health, he's going to nom through it just to keep himself healthy and has the Tongue Lash there already. Still waiting for that magical level 3.
It's worth mentioning that Edward is out-farming his ADC. It was 9 out of 12, I believe, on the first 2 waves, whereas Edward, I think, maybe even gotten all of them so far. So he's already won against his own team.
Yeah, this is actually a tryout for a role swap for Edward at this point in time. So right now, feeling pretty good about that one. As he once again Valkyries this Frog. Oh, no, we're not going to find the Tongue Lash.
Maybe Edward is thinking he's playing Rumble, because he's playing in the same way, sitting in front of his minions, hitting S, and then allowing the Gatling gun to hit Naru from behind the minions. And he is in a mech, so you know it's an easy mistake to make. So
that's a very good point.
It's making it work. Okay, so by using the fast bomb there, you know he's going to go back. He's just burning the mana. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been an efficient trade. So this is fine. He got the push off, and Tahm Kench is obviously not faster pushing. So Naru will take the opportunity to go back himself.
Yep, have something to eat there as well. Ruby Crystal is going to be his pickup. Double Doran's Blade here for Edward. The only amount that you can purchase, of course, in this 1v1 scenario, and has himself some boots so he can attempt to run away from the Frog, who doesn't actually have the boots.
Yeah, the boots are really important specifically for the Corki in this matchup, because if you do get licked, you want to get away as fast as possible, and also allows you to try and juke that lick a little bit easier. However, walking face first into the Tahm Kench, not so great.
Yeah, and he even lands the snowball as well. Doesn't have the help of the minions just yet, but is going to be able to stack up that passive. Good exhaust comes out as Edward's trying to get himself to the health pack, does so. And Naru is so hungry. Another Tongue Lash comes in, but a little bit too late.
Oh, Tahm Kench almost claiming another victim in this 1v1.
He's so scary.
Not how I expected this day to turn out. Edward trying his damnedest. He just needs to play the CS game. He lost a cannon there, unfortunate. But Naru, now the panic is in Edward's eyes. He never would have gotten hit before by that Q, but now that he's forced to play behind the minions and he's a little cautious of a Tahm Kench who almost 100-0'd him, then he's just playing a bit wobbly. So needs to try and regain control of the lane. But now that the minion wave is in favor of Tahm Kench, he'll have to let this one reset, wait for the next wave to come in, and then regain control after that. The fact he only had one pop means he is going to be a little chunked, so this is actually precarious for the Corki.
However, the Corki does still have this CS advantage, and could it be that Edward sort of just stays back, tries to farm this one out, and plays that 100 CS game? Is that in his wheelhouse to do? Because this Corki is farming better and has the ability to do so throughout this matchup.
I'll be honest, Atlas, that's his only play, because he's not going to kill the Tahm Kench, because he's Corki. So he might be able to shove in the waves and hit the tower, but it's too risky because we saw exactly what just happened there. Naru ambushes him, maybe he lands a stray lick, a stray snowball, and he gets in on the Corki, chunks him again, he can't play that game. So the less risk-adverse play is just to try and play the numbers game. He's already ahead. Yes, it has been equalized by that play that Naru made, so only 5 in it now, and it should equalize to about 4 if they both CS perfectly. But Edwards should still play that game.
Well, right now, they're just farming things out. Naru looking on the offensive. Remember, the onus is on the Frog to make the moves. Misses the Tongue Lash. Now just going to walk up to Edward. The minions firing at the Tahm Kench, but pretty tanky. Not too worried. Has the grey health. Like, just looking relatively unkillable as he misses that cannon creep. Now just going to walk past these minions, stacking it up now as well as the Tongue Lash comes in. He's looking greedy, looking hungry.
But all Naru really needs is to burn the Valkyrie and he gains control of the lane.
Snowball is going to come in. He wants that Devour. Can't quite close the distance. The boot's working wonders here for Edward. Just goes back again.
So because it's unlikely that you're going to just like max out Valkyrie as the Corki here, then Naru can burn the Valkyrie. It's on like a 15-20 second cooldown, and you have control of the next wave. There's nothing that Corki do, because if he steps up, gets licked again, Tahm Kench walks at you. So by just burning the Valkyrie, he's effectively just won the next 20-30 seconds and the next minion wave. And that's all he's done. And as a result of that, you can see he's not only evened up the CS, but is about to get ahead.
Well, there it is. Only a few minions in this wave as well. Naru will actually be able to take the lead as far as minions killed on this map. Edward's going to be able to clean some of these up, but only gets 2 out of the 3 once he makes it back. And the Sapphire Crystal just feels so bad, man. Like, building obviously towards that sheen, which is so important for a Corki, but the fact that he goes back twice, the first time gets a Sapphire Crystal, second time gets 5 potions / biscuits. I mean, it's not a good feeling.
It's the only thing he can do, because he's not going to get another component of the sheen. He'll just go for the mana so he can continue to push out the wave against Naru. Because the way he's going to win this is, of course, as we already mentioned, by farming it out. So the longer he can stay in lane, the better, and gets him towards that goal of the sheen. In terms of going for more AP, completely useless, because he's not going to kill the Tahm Kench, and he doesn't need it for clearing, but he may have just screwed up.
Well, there's the grasp for the Undying. He is going to get eaten as Naru's going to pull him all the way back. Valkyrie comes in, but the snowball has already landed. Good exhaust by Edward. Not going to be able to find it. He's just trying to use his range advantage as best he can. Grey health not used yet by Naru. Wants to be able to hold onto it for the regen. Boss bomb. Oh, actually now going to break it. Remember, the Abyssal Voyage is there. We'll be able to get right back underneath this turret to keep playing that minion game.
Naru played the start of that extremely well. He managed to force all of the defensive tools from Edward, managed to hit him a bunch, but Edward, on the return of that, was not only kiting, but also hitting back on Naru, and Naru missing that lick was the important thing there, because that would have forced Edward back. He would have had to go back to base, or back to his tower at least, to get control of that minion wave. However, as it turned out, Edward was able to continuously hit Naru, which meant he could force him back to the tower. And because now he's hit the level 6 spike, has those rockets, and had a lot in reserve as he wasn't using them, he was able to get that trade off.
Well, Snowball not quite up here for Naru as Edward takes himself the health pack. And that's an exhaust down now for Naru. He was feeling the pressure that the Corki was putting down. Grabs himself a Ruby Crystal, still can't afford that Sheen. Actually, no, could. Okay, there we are. So he's going to discover that he has enough money for his initial purchase and picks up the package now. Edward, a little bit more movement speed. I didn't even know that that spawned on the Howling Abyss Pulse. I'm learning things today.
Today I learned. Well, I don't think I've ever seen a Tahm Kench Corki matchup before on Howling Abyss, so it's all new. But he does have the Sheen and also has the package, so he essentially has control of this lane for the next couple minutes.
How did he land that?
I don't know.
Very cheeky.
The Neo of Tahm Kench's. But Naru has to be a little careful, because this is the spot in the game where Edward could theoretically have kill potential on Naru if he chunks him down to, say, 60%. It's not going to be 100-0, but he has to respect it.
Certainly has kill potential on this turret as well as Edward, remember, has the Sheen. So the extra tower damage is an opportunity, they know. As Naru's going to go aggressive, package is going to get laid down. Looks adorable here on this skin as well. Shout-outs. Naru's just going to try and grab brush positioning. Edward gets the mana back from the health bot.
Yeah, that's a really good shout. The tower is very low. I had noticed from the just constant minions crashing against the tower, and when Naru is also forced back to base. So this puts the onus on Naru to try and get a play off. He has the 3 stacks. He goes in. He has to go for this.
He's looking for the dive. Yeah, the consume comes in. Naru's going to have to spit him out as Edward grabs another health pack, but is it going to be enough? I don't think so. There's the auto, and the Tahm Kench, 2 for nothing.
Unreal.
Has had a bit of a reputation for being good in those 1v1s.
I mean, she has crazy 1v1 potential. She is a lane bully. She's the quintessential lane bully in that 1v1.
Arctic Ops Cannon, one of my personal favorites, but I don't know why you wouldn't be a doctor.
MD Cannon.
Yeah, MD Cannon is the best, because trust me, I'm a doctor, you know? You can lead them into a false sense of security.
And bam, here's the scalpel.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, laning phase is going to start. Zanzara just clearing out the waves, not worrying about hitting the Kenny too much. Zoin's going to miss one of the CS. Zanzara doing much better this time. Actually misses 2 of them, unfortunately.
Yeah, by virtue of being Quinn, it forces Elwyn back. Like, Elwyn can't approach the minion wave, because if he gets into an auto-attack trade at this stage in the game, he just loses. He went for the Q level 1 because he just wants to farm and knew this fact.
Oh, misses the Blinding Assault. This is exactly what we were talking about. Once he hits that level 2, especially if he hits it before Elwyn, things get dangerous.
He looks for the punish. Elwyn is just going to punch him in return as Zanzara tries to approach. That's the only really window that he can go for, or he can go for some like crazy Qs that go around the minions, but this is disastrous right now. He's missing all of the minions under the tower. This is about as bad as it could have gone, but there were 2 missed minions from Zanzara, so it's not the end of the world right now.
Well, it certainly isn't. And of course, the pressure is on the jungler to try and farm this one out. Doesn't have a lot of experience last hitting creeps, because of course the jungle minions don't have any things bashing on them. It's much easier that way. Elwyn's just guarding his health relic. Doesn't want to use it just yet for the lack of efficiency. Oh, good stun from Elwyn as he goes back, wins the trade.
That's nice. It's very hard for him to make that happen, because typically Quinn will just be able to hit you with the Q, but I think it was either down or just about to come up there as Zanzara used it on the minion wave, so it's kind of like a Blitzcrank hook. Like, you don't want to just shoot it out, because as soon as it's down, then it opens up a window for your opponent to go in. Likewise, when Elwyn throws out a Shuriken and gets a Mark of the Storm, then he can go in as well, because landing 2 more marks considerably easier as he can just charge at the Quinn. And now that's happened 2 or 3 times, and it's given Elwyn control of the lane.
Yeah, the other thing we have to look at is the fact that, of course, Kennon's an energy champion. Zanzara on the Quinn is a mana champion, so we'll have to watch out for that mana bar. Elwyn certainly doesn't, so all of those spells can just be spammed by the Kenny. Quinn has to be a little bit more careful. However, not anymore. We'll have that full blue bar. He goes back, grabs himself an extra Doran's Blade and those boots as well. I'm looking to hopefully pick up some of these minions under the turret.
Additionally, Kennen is very punishing if you force your opponent back, because he can just sweep through the minion wave with his W and E combo, completely clear it out, and then Zanzara is going to miss maybe 2 or 3 CS there. Later into the game, it becomes even worse as he insta-clears it. He can't do that while his opponent's in lane necessarily, unless he has a massive advantage, because your opponent will just hit you in the face a bunch, and then you'll get chunked. But right there, he was able to shove it in and use Lightning Rush to get back to lane.
Yeah, he's going to do so. Falling behind 8 CS, though, on the side of Elwind. Zanzara misses that one, but has otherwise been very, very good with this farming. Elwind once again back in the position of guarding this health relic, trying to find his window. Is it going to be level 6? Is that what Elwind's looking for? Wants to get that Slicing Maelstrom. Of course, Zanzara will have the Sky Strike, I guess, after he comes down off Valor. But otherwise, it's not exactly a huge level for Quinn.
You can move into the bush. Because there are no wards in this game mode, then you can head into the bush and then try and get like a surprise strike. It's not like an all-in trade, but it's just something else you can add to your combo. Kennen finds it kind of hard to interrupt it out of the ultimate. He has to land the Shuriken, if nothing else. If he lands an auto attack, she's already on top of you, so it's pretty hard for him to deal with that. But as soon as he hits level 6, as you rightly said in Champion Select, Kennen's going to murder you. Because it's just like, oh, what's your offensive spell? You dash further into my Maelstrom. Fantastic. So Elwind's in pretty good shape.
And of course, if that Vault does come out, then what do? You just throw out your Q, easy peasy. Skill shot, not even necessarily a skill shot at that stage.
Yeah, I feel like the end may have come for Zanzara already, just because he's not being particularly aggressive. He's not looking for a lot of auto-attack trades. That's what he should have been doing earlier into the game, but we're now 5 minutes kind of too late. He was able to get the push in the last wave, so Elwin had to go for that health relic to just burn it, but right now, unless he gets some serious damage in, Elwin's in a position where he can all in. He's got the level 6.
Yeah, and he's going to get hit by the edge of that Blinding Assault, but not too much of it. Good stun comes out from Elwin, but not going for the all-in just yet. Oh my goodness, the face check as Elwin throws down the ultimate, but can't close the gap. It's a disaster, and that is a huge cooldown now that Elwin will have to wait before going for any other kind of all-in.
Okay, that went as well as it could have done for Zanzara. Elwin got the perfect combo on. He put Zanzara in the easiest of kill ranges. He just needed another trade. He could have chased him down, could have popped the ultimate. That's a kill. But now Elwin walks back in again.
That's ludicrous amounts of damage. Remember, Elwin doesn't have the defensive summoner spell. Zanzara is the one with the barrier, so isn't as worried as this Kennen, who's now forced back 11 CS behind once this last one falls, and another minion wave for Zanzara to eat up and throw into the turret of the Kennen.
Yeah, but to finish that point off, Zanzara played that pretty perfectly. He stayed just on the outside ring of where the Maelstrom was, so he's not going to be able to get in range again. He knew he'd already burned all of Kennen's spells, so he wasn't able to Lightning Rush in. And then he could just stay on the edge and continue to harass. He's got the farm advantage. He can play this slow now. The only downfall is that Elwin did manage to keep the exhaust and ignite. So if he does get in range for the exhaust, he can use that as a soft gap close to allow himself to get on top of the Quinn for the ultimate. But Zanzara also kept his barrier, so there's a lot of trade-offs to how the next couple minutes can go, but Zanzara has an into this game now.
Very interesting that he goes for this Spectre's Cowl pickup as well. Zanzara just looking to play out the long game. Not too worried. Just says, well, I'm ahead in farm. Ahead in farm by quite a way. That's like more than a full minion wave. This Blinding Assault comes in one more time. Draws back some distance. Nicely done as the auto trades are winning out here for the Quinn, but good stun once again for the follow-up from Elwin. He'll go and get himself a little bit more healthy. Health packs for everyone. He's going to once again go back.
The optimal trades here for Elwin is not to get hit in the face by a bird, but instead to get all 3 marks of the Storm down just like that. Yeah. If he can lead with Q and then follow up with an auto attack and a W, perfect. Just backs away. If he gets into an extended trade, I'm talking about 3-4 seconds, Quinn starts to come out on top.
Elwin does have that Slicing Maelstrom back off cooldown once again, so that all-in opportunity is there. And this clock is most certainly ticking for the Kennen. Scary, scary time. Zanzara just using that mana bar to clear out as many minions as he can. He knows that the pressure is on to last hit them all very, very effectively if he wants to win this. Because slowly but surely, Elwin is coming out the better as time goes on. But still, 11. It's not, that gap isn't closing very fast, False.
It is not, but that was a dirty Q coming out from Elwin, and that may allow him to get in here. It's been a couple minutes, so his ultimate is, of course, up. Had he landed one more for the stun, that probably would have spelt the end there for Zanzara.
That was a fantastic vault as well, just to make sure that that Slicing Maelstrom was once again not in range. Wants to be able to see exactly what's going on. Good ignite comes in as Elwin there. He's going to close the gap now. No opportunity. Good exhaust. Very, very late. No, Elwin doesn't get the last auto and cancels the final one, being very scared of that turret.
A big smile on Xandra's face there. He knew he should not have been alive to see another day. But Elwin botches it just at the very end. Was not quite enough. Needed to be a little further forward so he could have just landed the final auto attack. But he gets away with it.
Oh, there it is.
That is what Tilt is made of, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly right.
Okay.
Doesn't do so well clearing out that particular minion wave, as the Cannon's going to make his way back to lane as well. Bit of attack speed, bit of damage. Just filling out that variety bucket after the Seeker's Arm Guard has been picked up, which should stack up before the game's over, which is good.
You would have to hope. But the important thing here is Elwin has maybe one more opportunity before minions take over the game or his tower dies. Xandra hasn't got that much damage on tower. It's probably going to come down to a minion game. But Elwin, his all-in is now on his next ultimate. If he doesn't win with that, basically over, because Xandra will just chunk him down. Sky Strike will be able to just get efficient trades against the cannon if he abuses the brush. And he has that one shot.
Good dodge of the Blinding Assault. Medpack going to come up once again. Elwin does have the inside track if he wants to get to it first, and Lightning Rush will allow him to get there, so steals it away. And now 1 minion is the difference as this wave crashes to the turret. Make that 2. Make it 3. That's 4. He's farming very, very well. Misses the last one, but that's only 4 minions. This is very, very close. As far as all the 1v1s that we've had, like, this is probably one of the closest thus far, as Xandra is really trying to hold on to this series for Team Ice.
I think regardless of how this 1v1 goes, Xandra has garnered the respect of his team and pretty much everyone watching, because no one was expecting this from a jungler, not even his own team.
Yeah.
So he has done real well against a top laner.
His micro skill is fantastic. Actually wins out on that last trade as well, as Elwin's looking to try and get his way in. Slicing Maelstrom is there, the Vault's down, but look at all this damage. The minions doing work as well, but there it is. No barrier available. Oh, misses the Q, but gets the last auto, and Elwin secures the victory for Turkey.
Oh, yeah. He's going to reverse sweep him. It's like, this isn't how the format works anymore. Bring them all against me. 5v1, let's go.
Yeah, that's like that About Time movie, you know? It's like you go through the day and you're all stressed out, and then you do it again, and you...
All right.
Already walking out onto the Howling Abyss, and they're already battling before we even saw what was going on. Zynot throws down the heel. Kira trying to kite this one out. They want to stand in the brush as much as possible for the headshots. He's still looking for it. The first order is going to come in. Good barrier comes out. Oh my God, Zynot at level 1. That was a... Well, this is the thing. The war of attrition, potentially.
It really is not.
It's a good analogy. Dumbledore seeing whether he can change that. Spirit Fire is once again going to come out. Oh, look at that. The power of the
mechanics.
Just terrifying. Another Q. Dumbledore theoretically winning at this point. Can't quite proc his sigil just yet.
Yeah, so if anyone hasn't seen it, the play for Nasus is he pretty much outpushes anyone else. I actually don't think there's anyone else who outpushes the Nasus other than maybe Vel'Koz. But Vel'Koz is just a hard champion, so if your name is not Seros, then you probably won't just pick him. So the alternative is just to pray to God you can get it all in onto Smurf. But Smurf, he's trying his damnedest just to hit minions for his passive lifesteal, and he'll just either wave. And Dumbledore will have to try and set up the wave to CS it under tower.
Which is difficult, but he is doing a fairly good job. This tower isn't targeting the wrong minions. There it is. Dumbledore just gives up on that one, says, I just don't even care. Gonna eat both of his potions. Look to see whether he can out-pressure Smurf now. Another Spirit Fire under the wave. Dumbledore avoids the damage. There's one button that he doesn't have. The Shadow Orb was there with the distortion. Gets the proc. Smurf just levels up, now level 3. It just doesn't look like he's taking all that much damage. Remember, Siphoning Strike's going to give him a bunch of health back as well. Just doesn't seem too worried. Picks up a health back. Good chain by the Doge. I've got to stop saying that, because there's 2.
There's 2, there is 2. But Dumbledore was walking the Doctor, walking him back to spawn. And Smurf will... Yeah, just do smurfing. Double Durance, that's what you do.
Yeah, just get another ring. If you like it, put 2 rings on it, I think Beyonce said.
That's the saying.
Yeah.
And he'll come back to lane. He's got the mana regen now, which just amplifies his pushing potential. And the douchebaggery that is Nasus in this 1v1.
I think that's where the word douchebaggery came from.
Yeah.
Is people that played Nasus in 1v1s.
I believe so. That
there we are. Origin story for everyone, exactly right. Spirit Fire in there. Seismic Strike helping him with an auto reset for clearing out these minions. Smurf, you have no excuse to miss these last hits. Come on, man.
5 out of 6 currently.
Stack it up. Right. We're playing for late game. 50-minute 1v1.
That's the great thing about Nasus when you play this playstyle, because you don't really even need to last hit with Q. Your goal is to max E and just ruin someone's day. Dumbledore, I want to auto-attack you, but I'm withered because I just got point and clicked.
Well, Dumbledore decided not to go for another ring. Grabs himself a book instead. So, trying to invest. Get himself towards something like Fiendish Codex, potentially. Smurf not going to get that one procced.
Okay, Dumbledore is playing this well. He got a couple good trades off, which forced Smurf back, so he couldn't approach the minion wave. Then he got priority on the minion wave and is now forcing it into tower. Smurf returns by taking the health pack, so he's healthy enough to challenge, pushes the minion wave into tower, preventing the freeze. And Dumbledore in a slightly less good position than he was a little bit ago, just because of the way that the melee minions are coming in.
Oh no,
if he had
misses
that
the
chain,
chain.
That would have been strong, but Dumbledore is getting a lot of good trades off. If he can put Smurf in kill range, which is at this level, maybe around 40-30%, where he can just all-in him with the Ignite, then it's an instant kill. Smurf is aware of this and will go back.
What is very, very important to look for here as well is the fact that Smurf is behind in experience. Dumbledore will be able to get the jump on him with this minion wave as well. So level 6 for a LeBlanc gives her a massive boost in the damage of her combo with that Mimic. So Smurf does have to be very, very careful in that window. Of course, does have the exhaust, does have the barrier if things go wrong. No level 6 to be gained just yet, and misses the distortion damage. Withers there. Spirit Fire was doing work, and Smurf just going to walk at the LeBlanc. Shadow Rod goes down, but this is very dangerous. Exhaust's traded. Ignite's still there. Oh my god, there it is! First Blood with a massive Spirit Fire and Ice on the board in Game 5. Now 4-1.